Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NDP Athletics Broadcasting channel. It's been a while since our last live stream. Football unfortunately fell in the state championship. Couldn't cover that one, but we've got quite the exciting one set up for you. So, real exciting game for you tonight as your North Oakland Eagles take on the Thumb Area Legion. For those of you who aren't super familiar with Thumb Area, it is another unified team, this one made up of a bunch of teams in the Thumb area. To name a few: Sanilac, Croswell, Lexington, tons of schools, somehow even more than North Oakland. But the big story coming into today for the Eagles is their penalty trouble. Their leading scorer, Nolan Poulton, has 7 goals and 2 assists on the season, leads the Eagles in points. However, he also leads them in penalty minutes. He has 33 penalty minutes on the season, along with 2 disqualifications. The first coming in the home opener against Gabriel Richard, in which the Eagles won 5-2. And the most recent one coming at their last home game against Riverview Cabrini. He was out last game when the Eagles unfortunately fell in a buzzer-beating heartbreaker against Allen Park. A game that saw a just massive miscommunication at the end of the game, leading to a breakaway goal to seal it for Allen Park 3-2 with 5 seconds left in the game. Senior goalie Julius Livernoy has just been an absolute rock wall for the Eagles this year, but he is also facing, on average, 50 shots per game. His goals against average is 3.4, save percentage 85%, but again, when you're going up against that many shots consistently, there's only so much you can do. However, I know that on this Thursday evening, this game isn't the only one going on. The Lions are taking on the Cowboys. So what we will be doing is giving you guys some score updates every so often, and keeping you guys in the loop of all Michigan sports. That being said, the Eagles have had an up-and-down season. Opened up the season with a 5-2 victory, before then dropping 3 straight. They lost to Heartland, which is not crazy to think about, seeing as Heartland is one of the best teams in the state. They went on their Tawas trip, losing back-to-back to Tawas and LCU, before then breaking the losing streak against Farmington, winning 8-5. Nolan Poulton in that game scored 4 goals, showing just how much offense he brings to the Eagles if he doesn't draw as many penalties. Again, 33 in 7 games. The Legion, very different. They are coming in 5-1. They lead their conference with 10 points and have pretty much been rolling their way through their competition. As the Lions just kicked a field goal so that they are up 3-0 on a 38-yard field goal from Jake Bates. Let's warm-up start winding down. We'll set the scene for you. Eagles stand at 3rd in Oakland Athletic Association White Division. So while they definitely aren't in an ideal spot to start the season, by no means are they completely out of the playoff race. Especially with as much season left to go as they do, nothing is out of the cards for the Eagles. But again, without leading scorer Nolan Poulton tonight, who is still on suspension from his previous disqualification. So the main thing for this Eagles team, as much as we all know how good their offense can be, they need to stay out of the penalty box. Have over 120 penalty minutes in 7 games, and while their penalty kill defense is solid, when you're seeing that many shots, that many defensive reps, you need to be careful and save your legs. The likely starter for Legion is going to be Jaden Collins. Their goalies, Jaden Collins and Evan Ouellette, have been splitting the season, going back and forth. Ouellette started the last game, so Jaden Collins is the likely starter for Legion. With all that being said, we are just a few minutes away from puck drop and the national anthem. So, hang with us, and we will be back with some more coverage in just a little bit.
Starting on Thumb area.
All right, so for Thumb area starting lineup, Coleman Bund.
At forward number 19, Nicholas Stewart. And defense for Legion number 44, Ricker Trollhill. Defense number 40, Scott Bertovich. And in net tonight for Legion number 29, Jaden Collins.
So Jaden Collins is the starter.
And now the starting lineup for your North Oakland Eagles, starting at forward, number 2, Alexander Favero.
So Alexander Favero starting
forward,
at offense.
12,
Leroy.
At forward, number 19, your captain, Mason Rodriguez.
Mason Rodriguez.
Starting at defense for the Eagles this season, number 14, Benny O'Dowd. Number 22, James Walker. Continuing the fights tonight for your Eagles, number 1, Eli Clifton.
So Eli Clifton gets to start tonight as opposed to Julius, and we will get our national anthem. So just about underway here. Freshman Eli Clifton getting the start. On the season, he has a 5.5 goals against average and a 21.4 save percentage. This North Oakland coaching staff is very much focused on getting their younger players reps. So having Clifton start against a team as good as Legion is just what they tend to do. However, last time Clifton had a full start with Livernois available, he only went into the beginning of the second period before getting pulled after allowing 5. So we will stay tuned with that. His last start was against Cabrini, a game that the Eagles lost 2-6. Right now, score is 3-3 after a Brandon Aubrey field goal. 8 minutes, 7 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Leroy, Favaro, Rodriguez, your starting forwards. I believe that is O'Dowd. Number. O'Dowd and Walker are the defense. So the Eagles dump that one in quick, trying to get some pressure here early. Handled by Walker. Passed up in front. Missed pass. Legion starting to get some movement here. Benjamin Meyer bringing it in. Works through the Eagles defense. Dumps in. Handed off to the Eagles. Now a 2-on-3. Make that a 1-on-2. Dumped in by Rodriguez. Battling into the boards. Rodriguez and Bertovich. That's a good pinch from O'Dowd. Stops some momentum. Legion trying to dump this in. Play a little dump and chase. Eagles forward line doing some good forechecking. Riney fields it and puts it back up this side. As senior Xavier Sanchez now up to Riney. Skating in. Got a man on his tail. Dumps it in for the Eagles. There's a lot of dump and chase going on early. The Eagles forecheck doing a great job as there's a long stretch pass in the direction of Talaski, just ahead of him for an icing. Some very aggressive forechecking early from the Eagles. So they're going to try to use that energy that we often see show up as penalties as forechecking energy. Face off to the right of Collins. Now an odd man rush to Lasky. Across, goal. Blake Bowerman from Chase to Lasky. Is Bowerman's third goal of the year. Tulaski's 11th assist on the year. Tulaski leads the team in assists and is just barely second in points behind Peyton Bowerman. Eagles go down 0-1 early off an odd man rush. Riney and O'Dowd out on defense. Bavaro takes the face-off. Back handled by Tulaski, battling as O'Dowd. Cycling. That one's up in the air in front of the net, now handled by the Legion. Pass up to the point. Anthony steps into one, blocked by Rodriguez. The Eagles do a very good job of blocking shots, helping to lighten the load as there's a long stretch pass across. Now another odd man rush. Pass in front, knocked away by Clifton. Clifton seen a decent amount of rubber early, handling it pretty well as that pass is just mishandled by the Eagles. Another pass awry. O'Dowd struggling to handle it, batted down by Legion, and they send it right back up. Kept in, never mind, it's an offsides. And Favaro did not hear the offsides call, so face-off gonna go all the way down to the Eagles zone. They really like their Tron music. So 15 minutes left in the first period. Eagles trail by 1. Face-off won by the Eagles, dumped in. Now some pressure from Archie. Legion fighting for it. And they will get it. Pass up to the left side, kept in by Samuelson. Deeks shoots. Knocked down by Clifton. Rebound up for grabs. Got it. Eagles get it back. Chipped up. Takes a weird hop off the boards. Picked up by Sanchez. Sanchez, Deeks, good poke check. Defensive play there from Samuelson. It's the Eagles coming back in again. London with a shot, scores! Aiden London, unassisted, ties it up for the Eagles. 5 on the season now for London. The senior out of Oxford, assistant captain. So Sanchez mishandles it. London picks up the dirty laundry, I guess would be the best way to describe it, and beats Collins, blocker's side, to tie the game up at 1. 14 minutes left. So dumped in, played to the side by Collins. That one's chipped. Now we've got another odd man rush, but offsides. Budden tried his best to stretch that back leg and stay on sides. Just offsides there, wipes out the play. So the forecheck for the Eagles doing a great job of putting pressure on Legion, but Legion countering that by hitting some stretch passes for odd man rushes. That is dumped in by Legion. Behind the net from James Walker. Looking up. Pass batted down. Now in the slot. Shot saved. Rebound up for grabs. Clifton on top of it. So big save there from the freshman. Benjamin Myers staring him down in the slot. Turned away by Clifton. Two saves already today. 13:50. Face-off won by Sanchez. Around to O'Dowd. Meant for Riney. Riney was not ready for it. And battle back in the corner. Shot in front, covered and saved by Clifton. So back on the penalty issue for the Eagles. The majority of their penalties do come from scuffles involving their goaltenders. So a very protective Eagles team with some hot tempers. That's dumped up for Sanchez. Turned back over, batted down by 19. Sturrock. So there's a nice open ice hit, and the Eagles coming down with an odd man rush of their own. Archie puts on the brakes to stay on side. Pass back from Sanchez was batted down. So loose. A stretch pass to Tulaski. He's got some room. It's a little ahead of him. No icing. As good defensive play there from O'Dowd stops the one-timer in the slot. O'Dowd looking for his options. Up to Archie. Archie skating in. Shoots. Tipped. Almost put in on his own net by Tank. As there's a shot by Riney that's batted aside. And Legion with a stretch pass. Another one to Tulaski. 1-0. Shot, score. His second point of the game. Now has a goal. Legion take the lead. 2-1. Very high-scoring game already. Legion just doing a good job of hitting those stretch passes, leaving them with 1-0s. Irish Eagles might need to change up their strategy if they want to neutralize the stretch pass offense from Legion. Face-off won by Legion. They're having Tulaski sit at the Eagles' blue line, just waiting for pucks. So Tulaski goal assisted by 17, as that is turned away by Clifton. So Meyer, 5 goals, 5 assists on the season. As penalty coming up, I did not realize how loud my voice was. So penalty coming up, not sure what team it's going to be on. It looks like it's going to be on Legion. So the Eagles, they have 8 power play goals already this season. As a hooking call on Tulaski. The Legion strategy so far is Tulaski posting up in proximity to an Eagles defender, waiting for a stretch pass. That's tipped out in front and almost shot back in by Favaro. That would be... It's now battled down in the corner. Eagles passed up. Sanchez can't hold on to it, but now back down to Rodriguez. Setting up behind the net, has Legion hung up. Looking for something, pass out in front. Kept in by London, almost tipped in by Rodriguez. Now we'll get the puck again. Makes a nice move. Over to Favaro. Shot good. Save there from Jaden Collins. Sliding across. Snares it with a blocker for the stoppage. I forgot to do the... There we go. I was so focused on the Cowboys game that I forgot about the scoreboard. It's Favaro getting pestered there by Jackson Anthony. Now stretch pass up to O'Dowd. Moving in, has the edge. Pass up front, turned away. Good defensive play there from Easton Tank. Puck goes up into the netting for a stoppage. So some great defensive play on both sides. Minute left in the power play for the Eagles. They're brought down to Favaro, turned up in front. That is going to be cleared over to the left, to the right of Clifton, who sets it aside for senior Benny O'Dowd. Getting their breakout set up. Near interference call there from London. Sanchez skating through, shot just high. Rebound in a dangerous spot. Multiple sticks on it from Legion, as that puck is going to be cleared as well. London being chased by Scott Young. skating through the neutral zone, cutting his way all the way up. We got some men on the back door. Puck still loose right in front of the net, pulled out by Favaro. Passed up top to Rodriguez. Rodriguez, Deeks puts one in front, tipped just wide. Now back to full strength as Tulaski's penalty finished up. Eagles trying to keep this one in. And Legion going for a change, but that does put them in a bit of an odd situation. Rodriguez skates in, saved. Juicy rebound cleared out by Legion. Gonna be a penalty. A penalty or an ice? Icing. So what, Jaden Collins has been leaving some juicy rebounds for the Eagles already. We're gonna hopefully capitalize on one to tie this one up. And as a former goalie, just to nerd out a little bit, he is wearing the Von Ventus. Those ones do not have knee rollers, meaning wherever the puck hits on that pad, it's getting a big hop. Personally, I always rolled with the V's, which had knee rolls on them. There's a stretch pass for Tulaski, gonna be covered up. Little bit of snow on Clifton. The Legion really liking that stretch pass to Tulaski. Surprisingly more of an assist player than a goal scorer, as that's Peyton Bowerman's job. But this Legion offense looking dangerous already. Just under 10 minutes as that's out in front. Scott scored. Well, we were just talking about Peyton Bowerman, as there is the goal. He was left wide open in front of the net. Peyton Bowerman gets his 10th on the year, 18 points in total. First today. We'll see who got that assist. Now 3-1 lead for Legion. The Eagles really going to need to crash the net a little bit better with how many rebounds Collins has been giving up. It's dumped back in. Now the stretch pass to Archie. Mishandles it. Going to cycle it back down. So Chase Tulaski, third point of the game, his second assist. Gives him 12 on the season. It's been Johnny on the spot for Legion. Kennedy battling in the corner, as well as Sanchez. Some physical play here from the Eagles, but puck time being controlled by Legion as that's mishandled and dumped in. Now back on sides. Passed up to O'Dowd. O'Dowd working, mishandles it. Dump behind the net. Sharp angle for Sanchez, no good. Gonna get some nice edge work there, battling some heavy defense. Now comes the double team, coming in as Rodriguez. And shipped out, but takes a bad bounce off the stanchions. A little fortuitous, no ice. And the Legion will get a line change. So O'Dowd motioning for Rodriguez for a stretch pass. If you caught that on the hot mic, I apologize. And now 44 blows a tire shot just high from Alex Favaro as Trowhill blew a tire there with the puck. Fielded by Walker, kicked back out. Legion have man open. Working in, can't hold on to it as Walker chips this one in to the Legion zone. It's now another odd man rush. Walker facing a 2-on-1. Shot turned away by Clifton, loose, covered. His fourth and fifth saves of the game. Clifton's seen a lot of shots so far today. Handling it pretty well. Jaden Hojnacki Bennett being turned off the ice. I think it's due to a neck guard issue. Face off to the left of Clifton. 7 minutes, 23 seconds remaining in the game. So that's another save by Clifton. 6th of the day. Chipped in behind the net. Passed up top. Cycled right back down. Legion doing a great job with their puck movement so far. Dumped down. Doing a lot of cycling here as that's into the slot. Tipped over the net. Shot by Bund. Finally, Eagles have possession of it, though they do turn it right over. Samuelson closes it. That turned away by Clifton. Eagles defense looking awfully tired. There's another step down shot. Save. Clifton, 7th. I think that is 8th of the day. Getting the Irish a much-needed rest. Irish, they're not the Irish, they're the Eagles. So apologies. That face-off won by Legion. Shot blocked to the corner. Put up by Riney. Now cycled back down by Legion. Although intercepted by Sanchez. Tries to flip it up to Leroy. Kept in. That pass across. Very dangerous. No good there. Almost a trip by Sanchez. O'Dowd takes the puck for the Eagles. Tries to chip it up ahead for Archie. Too far behind him. Possession retained by Legion as that's put in front almost. Post and in. Eli Clifton playing that one a little dangerously. Now pass is blocked. Anthony walking in. Got plenty of room. Shot just high. And now Leroy skating in. Irish finally getting some possession time. We'll see. Eagles getting possession time. We'll see if they try to milk this to get Clifton some much-needed rest. Does not look like it as Legion back on the attack. Riney blows a tire. Tank shot. Snared. Clifton with the glove save. 9 so far. 2nd and goal on the Dallas 1-yard line here. 2:52 in the first quarter, still 3-3. Face off to the right of Clifton, won by the Legion. Shot blocked by Rodriguez. Now the Eagles getting a little bit of a breakout, but the pass in between the legs, they're not gonna, no ice. Pass is tipped. This Eagles forecheck is very aggressive right now as their ones are out there. Those ones being Rodriguez, Favaro, and Leroy. As Favaro skating in his own end, looking for something, anything, doesn't have much. Over to Leroy. Leroy dumps it up ahead for Rodriguez. Rodriguez now has a 1-on-5. Makes a move past one man. Still holding on to it. So that is just misplayed by Walker. Dumped in. Delayed offsides. Rodriguez apparently didn't get back. Now offside's done. So Favaro and Rodriguez doing a great job forechecking, keeping the puck out of the Eagles' zone. However, when the ones aren't on the ice, it's a struggle as the Lions did score a touchdown. Jameer Gibbs. Now skating in is Bowerman. Had the puck taken away from him. Now Walker trying to lead an Eagles breakout. Batted down by Talaski. So dumped in by Legion. And just barely out. Legion has just dominated time of possession so far. Meyer just offsides. So despite the Eagles being penalty free so far, they still trail it 3-1. 3 minutes and 36 seconds left in the first period. As Hojnacki Bennett is heading off the ice. I believe it was a neck guard issue. Face-off tied up. Now won by Legion. Meyer brings it in. Shot blocked by Riney. Legion do get it back. Dumped in. Samuelson holding. Now behind the net. That is in front, loose. And Clifton is on top of it. 10 saves in the first period. So Hojnacki Bennett did get the net guard he needed, so he is on his way back out. MHSA has been cracking down on equipment rules recently. 3 minutes left in the first period. Eagles trail it 1-3. I'm Augie Villawan here on NDP Athletics Broadcasting. There's another save by Clifton. As you can see, Eagles very protective of their goaltending. Breathe on them funny, they're probably going to try to swing on you. Now face off to the right of Clifton. Won by Legion, kept in by Trowell. As O'Dowd chips that behind him. Bush first on it. Now 2-on-2 here. Sanchez and Archie heading in. Sanchez chips it up to Archie. Archie battling. Kept in by O'Dowd. No help there. So now another stretch pass. O'Dowd plays it well. Shutting down the angle. Pass in front. Covered by Clifton. So, if I'm the Eagles coaching, my main message at intermission is going to be we need to drop back a little bit more, have our heads on a swivel, and try to avoid these stretch passes. Face-off won by Legion.